I'm not staying here!
Your warriors are wavering.
How could it end like this?
And welcome everybody to something new. Some of you may have seen that I did a little bit of a live stream just after 10 o'clock this morning my time when this game became available. I did not have early access to this, so I took a look at this game for the very first time a little bit earlier today, played for a couple of hours, had some really good advice from some of the folks who joined us for that live stream. And now I'm ready to, I think, really take on an actual campaign of this. So the question is what to start out with. Well, I don't really want to start out with something that says starting situation easy. Otherwise, I probably would have defaulted here to one of the Egyptians. But what we did in the live stream was I played a little bit of this guy, Ninurta. Well, I think today, or I'm sorry, this campaign, I'm going to go ahead and try the other Mesopotamian leader here, this being Adad Shuma Usur. So for anybody who did not notice in that earlier stream, I mentioned that early in my writing career, my first novel in fact, I wrote a little bit of a story based in ancient Assyria. And so I kind of have an affinity for this part of the world. It's not, however, my expertise when it comes to my history background. I know a lot more about medieval history than I do about the ancient world. So I'm looking forward to actually learning a little bit as I play. But yeah, for the most part, this is just going to be a campaign to actually dig in, find out how this campaign plays out, find out, you know, for sure whether or not Total War Pharaoh is a game that I enjoy. I feel very optimistic about it. I feel like with the recent update, the Dynasties update here, that there's going to be a really fun game in here. However, just how replayable it is, how much depth it has compared to Warhammer, things like that, that's what we're going to find out in this campaign. I have not watched any of the other Let's Plays by any of the other YouTubers or any of their reviews of those who got early access or anything like that. So I'm kind of going into this a bit blind, other than what I learned.
I prevail over all.
In the first 2 hours that I played it earlier today. So, I think with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump in here. I will go ahead and read, because I do care about theme, I'm going to go ahead and read through a bit of this flavor text here, and then we're going to go ahead and leave it on Legendary. I'll go ahead and show off the campaign customization, but I'm just going to play on what all the defaults are, because I want to find out how the game plays, and I don't really have enough experience at this point to know what I would like to change in terms of that. So, Adad Shuma Usur, the Protector. Adad Shuma is concerned with protecting Babylon and its legacy above all else. Given his background as a merchant, he favors diplomacy as a way of settling problems, yet he will go to war without hesitation if this serves his plans better. Persistent opportunist, he will take advantage of any of his opponent's mistakes, be they political, economic, or military. His idea of expansion is one of deliberate development, not eager conquest. This does not make him passive. To the contrary, he will do anything to ensure Babylon is still standing when the dust finally settles. I think that seems like a play style that will suit me very well, because I do obviously want to go to war a fair amount, but I don't want it to feel like super aggressive, constant warfare. So let's see how that plays out. In terms of the campaign customization, as I mentioned, I'm not going to change any of these, but I do really like the fact that so much of this is customizable. It is certainly something that I can see maybe tinkering with in the future, as well as possibly taking a look at mods that change the game as well. But I don't think we want to start out with any mods or any changes. We want to get a sense for what the basic game is like here. Same thing here for the battles. For the AI. And for general, yeah, I did notice that there was a day-night cycle. There's obviously weather on the battles. So lot to like in just the couple of hours that I played earlier on. Obviously nothing but scratching the surface of the game so far, but In any case, there was enough there that I think it's going to be a very fun campaign, and I like coming into brand new games like this kind of blind. I really enjoy the learning aspect of the game, and I also like going in optimistically rather than having preconceived notions of things that other people did not care for. So these native units, I learned, those are going to be the things that we can recruit just in this area. Exactly how big this area is, I do not exactly know. And then our faction units, of course, which are specific to us. We have some faction buildings here, which we will learn more about as we get into it. I learned a tad little bitty bit about how the settlements and the outposts work, but I'm obviously still going to be learning a whole lot more as we move forward here. So let's go ahead and preserve Babylon's legacy. I'll go ahead and put a timestamp in so people can skip this cinematic for those of you who are already familiar with it.
I am Meneptah. No, I am the great Pharaoh Meneptah. 10 years ago, I inherited the throne in the shadow of my father. The strong bull, the protector of Egypt, the chosen of Ra and beloved of Amun, the mighty Pharaoh, Ramses the Second. Egypt has flourished throughout my reign, but now I sense the eyes of Set upon me, and dark times are coming. What will happen to my kingdom after my soul slips into the eternal lands of the afterlife?
Alrighty.
The city of Babylon, a gem coveted by all throughout its glorious history. Its leader, Adad Shuma Usur, A noble king determined to restore his kingdom to its former splendor will face daunting obstacles on his way. Relentless Elamite raids press on the Babylonian borders, eyeing the kingdom and its riches with greed. They dream of their own empire. Should their attempt at conquest succeed, they would become a threat to all. Assyrian influence adds to Babylon's precarious situation. The rival empire has no intention of surrendering and seeks to regain its lost lands. Beyond Assyria, the Hittite Empire also looks in Babylon's direction. Mighty Hittite kings have long desired the wealth and treasures of the city. They quietly prepare to launch a war campaign. Lastly, the Canaanite tribes south of Hatti are easily overlooked. But if they reach the Euphrates River, they may wreak havoc across the lands of Sumer and Akkad. The land will not be merciful to the aspiring Babylonian king. He must be cunning in both diplomacy and battle, placating and conquering his numerous foes as the situation best dictates.
All right. So a word about that panoramic discussion or monologue that just happened there. I'm a big fan of that. I really wish that they would add those into the Warhammer series because, or I should say specifically into Warhammer 3, because I think they had them in the earlier versions. Anyway, I think that's very thematic, very flavorful, and it really kind of sets the tone for the start of your campaign, and kind of cool effects as well. So strengths and weaknesses here, I'm not going to read through all these, but I'll hover over them really quickly for anybody who may be interested. If any of you, by the way, are on the fence as to whether or not you're going to get this game, that's one reason why I'm playing this and recording it, so that people can kind of see the game through the eyes of somebody like me who's really just now coming into Pharaoh, rather than somebody who has already played it and already, like I said, might have some preconceived notions about how the game is. So, all right, so here we are. We have Babylon, which is, looks like already size 4. Okay, so we're starting out in this case with a pretty well built up city. So that's kind of a big difference between the previous faction that we played, the Assyrians and the Babylonians here. So we got Babylon. We have ourselves a lumber waterways, which is wood income building, which we can see because this is a food settlement. So then we also have the fisherman's docks here. So this is maybe, well, anyway, we'll figure it out. I was learning that these green buildings here are your resource-dependent buildings, but we actually have 2 of them here, and obviously this one seems to be the one that matches up with that indication right there. Okay, Grand Temple of Marduk. This is like a landmark here that is already a level 5 landmark, so that really should help us out. This is providing favor, legitimacy, upkeep bonuses,
and what
happiness,
of my status? I am complacent.
Production, and pretty good stuff there. Native muster field allows recruitment of Akkadian farmers. Okay, not super exciting units there, but as we learned from the initial battle, even the farmers can kind of hold their own against really low-level levies. And then we have public gardens here. These are happiness, replenishment, workforce growth, which is very important, and administrative burden. So our workforce growth, what I found out, this is often going to be a roadblock. So although in this case, since we're already at level 4, it may not be as much of a roadblock for this particular settlement. Let's go ahead. Take a look at our other settlements here. So it's just these 2. So we have Uruk here. This is only level 1. Let's take before I get too far into the buildings itself, let's take a look here at the strategic situation. So this right here, this is And is held by... If I hover over it, does it... why is it not telling me who owns it? Somewhere, so there's little things like this that I'm still having to learn. Okay, if I scroll out... Okay, so this is faction Okay, fair enough. And if we take a look here at our diplomacy, has an very neutral attitude towards us. We have no special treaties with them. They have 2 settlements. They are also not as strong as we are, so that is something to keep in mind if we do decide we want to consolidate this entire province, which we probably will want to, whether sooner or later. And then Borsippa here. This again. Oh, faction There we go. I just wasn't noticing it before. Okay, so that's as well. So if we look here, this is interesting. So we're in between the settlements of That's got to be very frustrating for him, I would think. Anyway, it is definitely a concern, however, because if he declares war on us, or even if we declare war on him without doing something to reinforce this settlement, it's obviously very vulnerable. Okay, we have Fisherman's Docks here. We have Lumber Waterways, so same basic buildings, it looks like, as what we have in Babylon. Here we have a Dice Tavern, which is happiness and influence. Okay. Meanwhile, our overall happiness is declining here, and in Babylon we are going up.
Kingship is not for everyone.
Probably because of this landmark. Yeah, happiness +5, sure enough. Okay. All right, and then let's take a look at our enemy. If I scroll out, can I... I'm not really seeing a way to see what's red. In other words, what's our enemies, but what about this? Is there a mini-map here? Yeah, there's a mini-map there. Can we zoom in? We can, but this doesn't really show us much either. All right, well, in that case, we'll close back out of it. We'll just have to kind of pay attention. Back to diplomacy. If we take a look at who we are at war with here, we are at war with Kingu, and that's it. Sort by them. Yep, just them. Okay. And they have a strength of 6, so they are actually stronger than we are. They have 2 settlements. Up and yeah, right here. Okay, so we do have trade partners of Assyria and Duranki, and then we have non-aggression pacts with Guedin and Duranki. Okay, so Duranki obviously looking very friendly towards us.
Bag of gold.
Not very strong
Bronze
faction.
blade.
Let's go ahead and negotiate with
Shall we
them
go
and just
fishing
see
again?
if there's anything else. Nope, doesn't look like there's anything else that we could do with them. Okay, go ahead and close out of this. Yeah, confirm. All right, so... Alright, so here's our enemy. 1 settlement right here. And can I see? I can't see their other settlement, but I think it's going to turn out to be up here somewhere. It's going to be. Anyway, this is the only one we need to worry about right now. So this is a. We can't tell how big it is, but we can tell that it has a size 9 garrison. So it's fairly built up, it looks like. Okay, and these guys are not our enemies. Surmarati. Yeah, okay. So the settlement's yet to be discovered. Maybe over here. There it is. Yep, Surmarati. Okay, so it's right there. Okay. So we could go up the river and try to hit their minor settlement, or we could just go overland and try to hit them here, keeping in mind that they are strong. They are strong, technically stronger than we are. We have...
Begone, foul usurper!
Okay, that's not... Oh, that's an enemy army. No wonder. Okay.
They call me King of Babylon, and
All
that
right,
is
so
who
we
I am.
definitely we could attack them straight up. Let's take a look here at our army. So we have Saraku levies. We have armored Salulu lords. Okay. We have Salulu spears. These guys, none of them look terribly strong. Guys are very low on armor. At least these guys are, well, he in particular, the swords here, they have medium armor, light. Weight class medium, that's interesting. These guys have 45 armor even though they're bow infantry. More Saraku. I'm going to have to learn for this to kind of roll off my tongue a little bit easier. So we have Saraku, levies, and archers. And we've got Salulu swords and spears. Okay. And we have Salulu slingers. We have
To be a ruler
Babylonian
is a
chariots.
heavy burden.
Got somebody knocking at the door. Just a second. Okay. Should be all right. We got Babylonian chariots here, and we have specialists. These are sappers. Okay. These are excellent missile range. Underdog. Let's find out what underdog means. If I select him... Okay. This unit thrives when fighting multiple enemy units. Very interesting, okay. I wonder exactly how that... Does it mean only in melee? I hope not, because they're a missile unit. Yeah, I wonder how it determines that. Okay, anyway. Chariots here cannot capture. They skirmish. Okay. That's going to be something that we are going to have to... In fact, I want to find out if here in the options, can I turn off skirmishing by default? That's graphics. I don't want to change graphics. I want to change game. Default groups to locked is on. Yeah, I want to turn that off, actually. Default run is on. Default guard mode is... Oh, wait a minute. No. Default it to off. Enable... okay, default skirmish mode is off. Okay, confirm. Boom. There we go. Yeah, because that was throwing me off early in the previous test campaign. Okay. All right. So that's our army. These guys are farmers. What we're going to do... Actually, before I move him into an attack...
The officers wish my counsel.
All we can recruit are farmers. Are we inside their territory? If I take a look here at Babylon... This is all still Babylon. I have no recruit... No, I've got a recruitment building right here. Native muster field. Why on earth...
Let us fish.
Can I... Why on earth can I only recruit native units if I am in a province that has a recruitment building? Oh, no, that's because that is the only thing we can... Literally the only thing we can recruit from here. Well, we're obviously going to have to rectify that. So let's take a look here. We're going to want... Slave hovels allows recruitment of Salulu spears, Salulu swords, Salulu slingers. I don't love the idea of building slave hop. Well, okay, it's fine. Let's just see what our other choices here are. We could do a chariot building here, and we've already got that one. We do not have the workforce to be able to build citizen army barracks. I think actually this is probably what I want, though. Saraku levies and Saraku archers. Let me just take a look here at our army.
Prince of Ur and protector of
The
Nippur.
Saraku levies are, in terms of upkeep, they're 96 and 14, food and bronze. Compare that to Well, they're pretty comparable, and in terms of
The
their
land holds
stats,
much beauty.
they have slightly better stats, but less armor. Okay. Salulu Spears versus... No, let's take a look here. Siraku Archers. Here we go. Siraku Archers. These guys, missile damage 30. Okay. I think I'm going to want more archers for sure. Unless I can get some cheap slingers. Okay, let's go back to checking this out here. Let's take a look at our... Yeah, this is really, really hard. There's slingers right there. Slave hovels is what gives us slingers. And the Salulu swords. Okay. Alright, so it's fine. That is a building we want. Yeah, I'm so used to the Warhammer way of just being able to hover over, and the tooltip would actually show me the units, but instead I have to actually pin the tooltip and then go over here and hover over. It's not that big of a deal, but it's a little bit of a quality of life step down, it seems
Rightful
like.
ruler of
Okay.
Carduniash.
So again, we don't know exactly what
My
they've got,
allegiance
but we
lies
do know those
elsewhere.
farmers are not as worrisome to me as some
Let
of
it
our
be.
better units. So I feel like if we move up there and attack them, we'll still have
Harvests are
67%
plentiful.
of our
People
movement
are
left.
happy.
We should be able to then come back. Well, we're still in. Are they in Babylon? They are in our territory. Well, that we need to kick them out of our territory, quite obviously. Let's go ahead and do that.
Prepare for your death.
Okay. Oh, wow. This is... Yeah. Look at that. Okay. So if we auto-resolved, it would be low casualties. Well, obviously, we're not going to do that, but their units must not be nearly as good. Militia, hunters, and farmers. Okay. So they have 1, 2, 3... No, just 2 melee infantry. 3 javelin... No, 5 melee infantry. The farmers, I guess you'd have to count as melee infantry. 5 melee infantry to our 1, 2, 3, 4 melee infantry. But ours are obviously much better than theirs. And actually, we can throw in the bodyguards as well. So they have 6 to our 5, but ours are overall better. They have 3 javelins compared to our 1 slinger, 1 archer, cavalry or chariot archer here, and sappers. Okay, let's go ahead and fight it. It's going to be in the woods. This will be interesting. And looks like we've got some serious terrain considerations here. We got water. I'm very curious to find out if battles are an incremental improvement over the Warhammer battles or not. Okay, weather does not affect the battlefield. That's fine. Deploy. Okay, looks like even though we have the water here, if I hover over it, does it tell me anything about what water does? Shallow water and marshland are difficult for small units to traverse and fight in. I don't really see any reason for us to handicap ourselves, so we're going to go ahead and do... Let's do like this. And we're going to put you on 4. And then we're going to get you... Let's get you kind of on the flank here. Let's get you... And you... Now, does he have... He has mixed shot as well. This unit switches between arcing and direct shots depending on range. Okay, that was a question that I had during the previous campaign, and now we know the answer. And he as well, mixed shot. And he's got really good range, so they are going to have to come to us once we get him within range at least, because we do outrange them. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started here. Whoop. Can't move yet, Michael. You haven't actually started the battle. There you go. Now we can. And they are coming towards us. let's go ahead and get you guys. Since your chariots, you probably cannot hide. The range here on the slingers. Do I have to hit? There we go. The range is 210. The range versus 1. Okay, so the slingers actually have better range than the archers do. And of course, as we know, the
Spearman! Time to move!
Step by step.
On we go!
sappers there have got the best range of all.
The gods are watching. Over there, move.
On we go!
Okay, they're not coming towards us anymore. Can he hide? He cannot. He is still visible. Okay. Oh, nope, here they come. They are coming after all.
Those men are the weakest of Assyria.
On the move! Step by step!
Step by step. Towards that place.
Time to move!
Time to move.
Okay, let's go ahead and get you
Honor the gods.
headed over this way.
Chariots into place.
There we go. Now our
Mercy on your soul!
our missiles are starting out. Pretty soon.
Fight with pride!
Well, if he's going to change automatically to direct fire,
My
then I'm not
spear
going to worry
keens for
about it.
blood.
Let's go ahead and get you wider.
Their eyes out!
Let's get you wider. Actually, you're my general. I don't want to do that with you. Let's get you wider. Let's get you wider. Let's get you wider. You guys. Charge into them.
And fire.
Okay. Hit them. Hit them. Hit them. You can fight them. You
And resolute.
get over. Actually, hit
Time
them.
to move. Throw.
Their skulls!
Your general is under attack.
Look out! They have us in range!
I'm not staying here.
Your warriors are wavering.
How could it end like this?
All your strength.
How we doing over here? Yep, pretty good there. Those are hunters as well. Go after them.
Above.
Okay, you guys try to flank. You guys hit them. You
No
hit them.
hesitation.
You guys go ahead and charge in.
Crack open their skulls!
Okay, well, we've won over here. I think we're doing... Oh, no, we lost right here. That's a little bit bad. How are you guys doing? Broken. Okay. Let's go ahead and get you behind on them.
Now.
Ever enduring! On the move!
Okay, my general, where's my general at? You've taken a little bit of damage here. Let's pull you back
Go
out.
there, men.
Get you guys
Fire.
hitting them.
Fight with pride! Spearman!
You guys... They're still broken over there.
On the move! Take their heads!
Patience in battle.
Okay, that looks like their things are pretty much under control.
No.
They're shaken. They only have one unit that's not broken, and he is shaken and wavering. And how are our chariots doing here? Let's pull them back. In terms of the pacing, this feels very similar to Shogun. It's very, very fast-paced. It's a little bit more arcadey than I would like. I like battles that have time for tactics to actually develop a bit more than this. I'm a little bit surprised here that we're not...
Fight with pride.
That's probably his leader right there, I
I'm
guess.
not staying here.
Take their heads. Victory beckons.
Anyway, yeah, so I could see maybe using mods or maybe taking a look at some of the options in terms of the customization for future campaigns to slow down these tactics, because I like using... I like feeling like it's not more about your ability to micro than it is about the tactics that you're using.
Withdraw now.
Okay, they shattered. But yeah, now he's wavering.
Fight with pride.
Bury them.
Go ahead and get in. Pinch him in between the two of you. Victory, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and end our battle. Alright, so actually, yeah, one of our units there actually really got very badly damaged. More so than I was prepared for. But that's going to happen. I'm very, very far from being an expert at this game at this point. And they didn't get wiped out, so that's the important thing. Okay, we got experience, food, bronze, gold, and Mesopotamian legitimacy. Very good. Useless warriors, valuable prisoners, so we could exchange them for food. Well, we're already getting 1.1 thousand food per turn, so that's not a high priority. This is morale, plus 8% for this army. Or units replenished. I think I will go with the morale only lasts for 2 turns, and I don't know if I'm going to have another battle for sure in the next 2 turns, so let's go with the food.
I have no quarrel with you. Go.
Okay.
I get things done.
Now he
Begone,
is
foul usurper.
7 units. Even though
They
we're
call me
damaged.
King of Babylon, and that is who I am.
Okay, here's one thing I got to do. I got to look at here at Babylon, and I look at the outposts here, and I need to see exactly where they are. So, how vulnerable are they? Well, we've got an empty one up there. We're not going to build it because we can't defend it just yet. But in time, we will definitely want to. So we're actually, at the beginning of this campaign, we're actually fighting off an invasion by these guys. Well, I think we've fairly successfully beat off the first part of the invasion, and we're in good shape to beat off the rest of it. But what we're going to do, we're not going to take any chances here, since there's no desperate need for us to defend anything up there. And I'm sure we replenish a little bit faster being inside the settlement. So we're going to go ahead and do that.
Whom among you know war?
I'm not going to recruit any farmers, because they're farmers. I don't want to have an army with a bunch of really weak units. So, although I guess I could, if all they cost is
Do not
food.
rush battles. Win them.
Yeah, all they cost
We
is
need more
food.
men.
We can recruit them and then disband them later. It's fine. Okay, but that does mean, of course, we do definitely want to get this done ASAP. We still have an idle workforce of 1, so let's take a look here at our other options. And one of the things I definitely want to pay attention to here are, because thematically this is a diplomatic and economic faction as opposed to purely militaristic, I do want to pay some attention to those things. But I definitely don't want to neglect religion here. And I think, isn't the purple religion? Yes, purple's religion. We already have that built. This Temple of Marduk. Dwelling of Marduk. This is just food and favor and workforce growth. That's a good temporary building. We'll get rid of it later when our workforce issues are no more. Okay. Now that means Over here in Uruk, you have 2 idle workforce. I don't see any better use than just leveling up this settlement right here. We need to get it up to 3 to be able to upgrade our lumber storehouse and our fish market and our house of games, if even necessary. I'm not totally sure that this is even going to be necessary here if happiness doesn't turn out to be a real big issue in this province. Okay. Now, your outposts. We currently have a White Temple of Anu. Legitimacy +5, construction costs -60% for religious outposts. Okay, just for religious outposts. And interacting with an outpost will refund 50%. I think that's the same for all outposts. Okay. So we could build this at a discount since we have that. Right? So it's only going to cost us 80 stone. It's going to provide favor, happiness, and food. Yeah, let's do it. This is a food settlement, so that'll be good. And speaking of food settlement, Mesopotamian trading post. Provide a production benefit here. Okay. All right. Once that outpost, this one that provides happiness here, once that's built, that I think will reduce the importance of this dice tavern. We would still get some influence benefit out of it, but we're also adding to our administrative burden. So I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that, but we might very well in the long run end up demolishing that. We have 4 pending actions. We have a royal decree. This is our version of the tech tree. Happiness, happiness with faction leader, and influence with faction leader. And XP per turn. Well, we're going to go with happiness. Okay, we still have commandment available. Okay. So we have happiness, construction costs, workforce growth. That sure sounds like a good one, although I don't want to reduce the recruitment slots. Not right now. Production bonus, food bonus, but a happiness debuff. Recruitment cost and upkeep, happiness and workforce growth reduction. Still, that might be something we want to do while we're doing recruiting. Organized festivities. This is happiness and an increase to recruitment cost. And this is a huge workforce growth. Okay. Let's go with, while we're recruiting, we're going to go ahead and take professional recruiters, and then we will change that, provided I remember to. We have outposts here. Well, we've just got this one that we cannot defend, so we are not going to build
Babylon
that.
endures.
And then here, we've got presence, we've got 3 presence. We have 0 fortitude. And we've got 2 ardor. I think I'm going to take one. I don't like having 0 fortitude. So I think I'm going to take that for now. And we've already got all of our ancillaries here. So we've got a common medium armor. We've got common medium shield. We've got Minoan spear. Melee defense grants attribute charge defense versus large. And we've got keys of divine wisdom. This is legitimacy and workforce growth. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. So we got all that. The only thing that's left is the outpost, which we're not going to build this turn. We cannot access much else. Let's just check our diplomacy out here. Nothing to be done
Bag of gold or bronze
by
blade?
default here. We are doing recruiting here, so the other question is, I could recruit a general here and possibly do some recruiting down here. Recruiting a general here is 1. Recruiting a general up here is 1. So there's no advantage to recruiting in either location. Can we recruit any units at all? None of these buildings allow us to recruit anything at all. The outpost that we have does not allow us to recruit anything at all. We're going to consider this a test, but here in Uruk, we're going to go ahead and recruit a general, and I think what we're going to learn is that he cannot do any recruiting. Is it worth spending this money just to do this test? Yeah, we're going to do it. Boom. And if I try to do recruiting, okay, I could. Oh, no, of course, because of the native units. I can, even without any recruitment buildings, I can always recruit the native units. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, it's just food. And currently, we've got plenty of food, although we will very quickly blow through that surplus. All right, I think we are now... Yep, okay. We've already seen all that. We are now ready to go ahead and end our first turn. Okay, all good. All right, so what we got here are units recruited, of course, slave hovels, very important, and our commandment issued. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and let's get him moving up in this direction. Lickety split. Actually, you know what I just realized? Okay. This... Which one is this? This is this one? Okay, it's not built yet. So since it's not built, we're not going to get any advantage from walking into it, are we? Nope, okay. No problem. It's fine.
I like traveling.
Okay, and what we can do is a little bit more recruiting. Now you are still replenishing, but you're in much, much better shape. Let's go ahead and take a look at our relative faction strength here. They are now at 117. We are at 3. So winning that one battle has definitely tipped the odds in our favor, not to mention the recruiting that we did. So now let's go ahead and head up to here with you. And we'll go ahead and recruit.
The officers wish my counsel.
Let's see here. What's our best unit? I've got 2 spears already. I want some more ranged units. I don't love the idea of slingers, but I want to have more than just those 2 missile units. So, pending actions, outpost available. Okay, well now we can go ahead and do this, and I think this being the front line until we conquer that next region up, then we definitely want to make this. Let's make it a fort. Upkeep of units stationed in fort minus 50%. Works for me. It's going to take 3 turns, however. It's fine. It is what it is. Babylon, you yourself, your workforce is only at 1, but your growth is 30. You're getting +1 in 1 turn. Wait a minute. So what's the growth? What's the difference between growth and idle? This is obviously corresponding to the workforce. What is that growth? Workforce growth creates idle workforce. Okay. You spend idle workforce and resources when you construct and upgrade settlement buildings. Workforce growth is generated from various sources, but mainly buildings and commandments. Okay. All right. Okay, so they're definitely related. Okay. back to you. We could upgrade you. These are mud baths. Our happiness, however, is already extremely good here. I don't really know that this is ultimately what this Palace of Pleasures, is that really what we're going to want long term in this city? This we do know is temporary, but it's giving us +6 workforce growth per turn. We could do city trade records here. This is for influence. In fact, I almost certainly will want to build this. It's just a question of, is it a priority? I do need to... That administrative burden, is that something that affects... It's going to be a negative on something, but what exactly is it going to be a negative on? Is it going to be on happiness? Is it going to be on influence? Is it going to be on legitimacy? I don't know. I do not know. All right. This is food income. Boy, that's an awful lot of food income. That's really hard to say no to that, isn't it? From an outpost standpoint, we actually don't have the building that increases our resource production here. But we can't build everything, so maybe it's fine. This certainly seems like it's a good investment. 165 wood, 1 idle workforce. Here we have grain pots, we have bronze, and we have gold. We've already got our recruitment taken care of, our military support. We don't have any of these. This is recruitment cost. Recruitment slots. There we go. Proving grounds, recruitment slots. That is something to keep in mind. Okay. Kind of tempted to do this for the time being. And then we'll get rid of it once we've done most of our recruiting. You have already maxed out the recruitment, okay. And so have you. Okay, we have no reminders. First time ever playing this game that I have no reminders, but that's because we've done all of our outposts in both of these two settlements. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and check our diplomacy again really quickly. Non-aggression pact, military access, defensive alliance, military alliance, confederation, and peace treaty. Okay. Nothing to be done. All right. Thinking that's all we need to do. So let's go ahead and end this turn. Okay, he is sailing away. Okay, very interesting. Okay, so we got our farmers and our slingers recruited here. Outpost completed. This is down here. Construction complete. Construction complete. Construction complete. Very good. Let's go ahead and get out of that. So, Uruk here. Your happiness is now at +1. Your influence is at 100%. You've got 1 idle workforce. You've got 1 turn to go on that, but basically you are just bringing in loads of food for now, which there's value in that. Particularly as we keep recruiting. So now, if we move you to here, I want to see how this works. If I move this army to here, is this going to give me... Oh, I can pray? Interesting. Okay, let me take a look at this. So this
The
is
world is a beautiful
the shrine.
place.
Interacting with an outpost will refund 50% of the movement. Okay. All right, so actually, if we do this,
Martial
we're going to get
prowess.
this in addition to some of our movement
I
back, right?
seek mystical wisdom.
So if I look at this, boom, sure enough, we got 50% of our movement back. And we got ourselves an army buff, which I don't see it here, but I guess that's what I can see it right there, okay? It's kind of floating next to the army rather than visibly attached to it, but that's fine. I'll get used to that. And then with the rest of our movement, I think I will continue then. Unique Monument Outpost. Interacting with this refunds another 50%. Army gains morale for a few turns by interacting with this. Okay, can we hit 2 of them in the same turn? Pay homage. Indeed, we did get another. We didn't get 50% that time. We might have gotten 25%, but still, we'll take it. So we've got Marduk's Prayer and Pay Homage. And on top of that, we keep moving here. Now, you...
About as much.
What is that? That's a Ziggurat of Enlil. I cannot tell if it has... It doesn't look like it has a garrison. But it might be just that we're not
My
close
time
enough
is
to
now.
see it yet. I don't desperately need more replenishment. I'm going to assume that our army, even at 13 units here, is stronger than anything that he's got. Let's just double check the relative faction strength again. Yeah, he's at 121, we're at 2. Okay, I don't want to get cavalier, but I'm not too worried about this. So let's go ahead and march up here.
Say your prayers.
I just realized I need to... Okay, do nothing or sack. Well, we're going to sack it.
Make way there.
Okay, and then we still could do march stance, but we're not going to. We're fine where we're at. So I need to change my camera settings here. Cinematic. Normal, that's fine. Allied factions, I want you on low. Enemy factions, I want you on cinematic. And neutral factions, I want you on low. That just, to me, always feels more cinematic, more immersive than
master of the arts.
than the vanilla, than the default settings. So let's
We
go ahead and
set
get
off
you
now.
up here into Babylon. And you
I
can now
seek
recruit
comrades with vision.
a couple slingers.
Well and swell.
And we'll give you a spear.
I need hearty warriors.
Okay. All right. And now you are 2 turns away. You are 1 turn away. You have built everything that you can, unless we demolish this. But what we want to do first is we want to save up. We need 2 idle workforce, and we're almost there, okay? You... I guess we don't have enough idle work. We have 2 idle workforce, but that's not good enough to actually improve anything. Interesting. Okay. What do we need for this? We need 4. For this, we need 3. For this, we need 3. Okay. Well, we're 2 turns away from being at 3. 1 pending action. Oh, okay. Here we go. So, Marduk here. Cult Center Babylon, discovered in realm Matamti, Heltamti, and Zagros. Shrines, devoted general, prayer, dwellings. Next god or worshipped god. If I go back to this. Okay. Did we discover a new one? Is that why the blue exclamation point is there? Marduk? Yes. Okay, I see. We have to actually take a look at all of these. Reach tier 1 to unlock this kit. Okay, so Cult Center in Susa. Ninurta here. Nippur. Cult Center. Ashur. Ishtar. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do... We want to look at worshipped here. We want to devote a general. Okay, we have shrines. Looks like these are already selected. Okay, this is... Okay, so let's go ahead and devote Adad Shuma Asur here. Let's devote him. Devoting your general to this god will grant their army special devoted general effects. Once you confirm this choice, your army can stay devoted only to this god until it perishes. So let me just double check here. For the devoted general, chance to die of old age, minus 50%, immune to attrition. Sure. Why not? Let's do it. Okay, I need to go back to this. Devoted general, boom. Confirm.
Take this mantle and wear it with pride.
Okay, could I... Oh, okay, so I can only have one general devoted to each god, or maybe it's just at the first tier. That's all I can do. Alright, so we have no more pending things to take care of. I think we're probably good to go ahead and end our turn. I can't see into this city. I can now see... I can see the garrison. Okay. I don't know what that symbol means exactly, so I don't know if it's walled or not, but I can see at least that those look like fairly tough units. Let's go ahead and end our turn. What I cannot see is if that enemy army is close by. Okay, so my frame rate's below 30. That's all that red exclamation point means. Well, that's not a big deal during an end turn, I would not think. Okay, there he is. He is hopping into the... Well, I was going to say, he's hopping into the city there to help defend it, but then he skedaddled.
Always look at the big picture.
Administration level change. Your administration tier has changed. As you marshal or lose generals and armies, and your domain's size and sophistication change, its need for resources and its capacity, capability to sustain itself will shift as well. So we don't exactly know what the effects will be, but we will discover them in time. And we have longer festivals. New victory objective. Conquests. Rightfully reclaim the seat of power in Bitperi, Amur province, 3 victory points, and conquests, cult centers. Establish control over the famed city of Dur Kurigalzu, 2 victory points. Okay? I'll have to try to find those. And we got our spears, our slingers, and our outpost completed. And character affairs, we got a rank gained. Okay.
I am prepared.
Oh, you know what? It's I'm out of time here, so we're going to have to apply that rank and figure out what we're going to do. He's got the garrison of 9 plus a general, but no units in it in this army. Defending, we'll have to decide if we want to go ahead and lay siege to it. We might, or we may want to wait until he can get up here and help reinforce the attack. So that we'll decide at the beginning of the next episode, but that's all we have time for in this one. I hope this has been interesting. I don't know whether or not to make this campaign a part of the regular schedule or something that I just do on the side in addition to the schedule of Warhammer campaigns that we're doing. It will very largely depend on what the, what's the word I'm looking for, what the interaction is. That's not really the right word, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, how does, we'll look at the performance of this video and decide whether or not this is deserving of a place in the regular rotation. So in any case, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.